Is the fuel situation showing signs of improvement yet?
To be honest, I find this quite surprising, considering the sheer size of our country and the fact that we possess such vast mineral reserves, including significant capacity for oil production. It really is just so strange to me. Honestly, it's bizarre, but I am well aware that this isn't limited to the south. It's happening in Moscow and the surrounding region, if I recall correctly. And I have also heard similar reports coming out of St. Petersburg as well.
Gelendzhik is home to Putin's billion-dollar palace. Its residents are now rationing gasoline next door.
The richest country, yet we're starving, one resident in Gelendzhik said, describing the fuel situation. We're enduring, waiting, said another. One day it'll all burst. People will get tired. A third summed up the mood with a bitter joke. They're enduring just as Diamond told them to. They're still putting up with it all. It's just that there's no money right now. That Diamond line isn't random. It's a callback to Dmitry Medvedev's infamous 2016 response to pensioners complaining about their income. There's no money, but you hang in there.
How are you feeling about this whole thing?
Pure anger. Just anger.
And are you looking forward to the future with a sense of optimism?
That is not at all true. Not at all, really. Though I suppose it comes down to your mindset. Still, there isn't much room for optimism. For some reason, we have these privileged classes, and then there are people like us just left standing here.
Nearly a decade later, ordinary Russians are recycling that exact humiliation unprompted to describe standing in gas lines. And there's a bitter irony in where they're saying it. Gelendzhik is also home to what's become known as Putin's Palace, a 17,700 square meter Black Sea estate valued at nearly $1 billion, complete with its own casino, theater, and helipad. Residents are rationing gasoline a few miles from a palace with an indoor ice rink.
Have you happened to notice any improvements at the gas stations in Gelendzhik, or perhaps in general?
It is only getting worse and worse.
In what way is it getting worse?
I mean, just take a look around, both to the left and to the right. There is your worsening right in front of you. It is clearly getting worse with every single passing day. If you were able to fill up your tank on the highway before, you simply cannot do that anymore.
What do you think this will all lead to in the end?
Nothing is going well. Everything is getting more expensive.
The queues aren't isolated to one town. Ukrainian long-range drone strikes on Russian oil refineries have triggered fuel shortages across at least 12 regions this August, from Krasnodar to Voronezh, Tula to Bashkortostan. Orenburg and Lipetsk have reinstated rationing, capping purchases at 30 liters of gasoline and imposing odd, even license plate restrictions just to manage the lines. In Sochi, authorities are outright asking residents to leave their cars at home. And in a detail that captures the absurdity of it all, fuel prices near Krasnoyarsk mysteriously dropped 24 rubles a liter right before one of Putin's visits, then rebounded the moment he left. The political cost is now measurable. Even Russia's own state-linked pollsters can't hide it.
Tell me, is the fuel situation in the Krasnodar region actually starting to improve?
There's plenty of gas in the Krasnodar region, no lines, everything's fine.
I detect a subtle hint of irony in what you just said.
I need you to know that I am being completely serious.
There's no lines at all?
No, you're actually making all of these lines out of nothing but your own head. Nothing.
Is the fuel situation showing signs of improvement yet?
To be honest, I find this quite surprising, considering the sheer size of our country and the fact that we possess such vast mineral reserves, including significant capacity for oil production. It really is just so strange to me. Honestly, it's bizarre, but I am well aware that this isn't limited to the south. It's happening in Moscow and the surrounding region, if I recall correctly. And I have also heard similar reports coming out of St. Petersburg as well. But yeah, we work with what we've got, let's put it that way.
The situation is very bad again. I mean, in 10 minutes I'll have been in line for 3 hours and it's still not moving. So you understand, right? It's a work day for me, so it's all a loss. And it's like that everywhere, at every station. So for now, it's bad. For now, it's bad.
How are you coping? Are you planning on making any changes to your life in order to adapt to this new reality?
Well, what do you think you can change? There aren't really options where I can just switch to an electric car tomorrow and drive around, no problem. No, of course we'll manage. You know, even the Soviet Russian person gets used to everything. So we endure, we wait.
There's someone out there profiting from this.
FOM recorded Putin's approval falling 5 points to 66% in a single week, the sharpest weekly drop since the 2022 mobilization panic. Disapproval hit its highest level since the invasion began. When surveyed on the country's most pressing issue, more Russians now name the fuel shortage than the war in Ukraine itself. Broader polling backs this up. A record 81% now say they'd support ending the war immediately, and 2/3 of Russians consistently favor a ceasefire with mutual concessions. What's shifting isn't necessarily opposition to the war on principle. It's exhaustion with what the war costs at home. Analysts tracking this shift note that abstract military losses never moved Russian public opinion the way a 3-hour line at a gas station does. Putin promised a short, victorious operation. Instead, he's delivered rationing coupons, mysteriously fluctuating prices, and a population openly quoting Medvedev's most humiliating line back at their own government, standing in fuel lines within sight of one of the most expensive private residences on Earth. It seems that Steven Seagal, a washed-up action star and devoted Putin bootlicker, has finally been abandoned by the Kremlin. After selling his $1.3 million house in Moscow, Russia's Federal Tax Service blocked access to his bank account, potentially confiscating his wealth. Prostituting yourself for an authoritarian empire never ends well. American action star and Russian citizen Steven Seagal's Russian bank account has been blocked by the country's Federal Tax Service, the Moskva news agency reported Wednesday. The Sberbank account was blocked in order to ensure the collection of a tax, penalty, or fine, Moskva cited documents in the Bank-Informed database as saying. A spokesperson for Seagal told Moskva that the block was most likely a mistake. Seagal received Russian citizenship in 2016 and was appointed Moscow's envoy for Russian-U.S. humanitarian ties in 2018. The actor is an outspoken supporter of President Vladimir Putin, describing him as one of the great living world leaders in a 2014 interview. Seagal also has multiple sexual harassment allegations filed against him in his home country of the US.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.